Minibus taxis are prolific in South Africa. They are a 16-seater minibus, and they are really the engine room of the South African economy. They carry 15 million passengers every day to work, to schools, to hospitals, and to social events. As SA Taxi, it's important that we have a technology which is reliable and stable to manage this stream of data. It's 25 million vehicle locations a day, or 500 million locations in a month. We need technology which is analyzing every point, every second of the day to understand the 6,500 kilometers on average these vehicles travel, to make sure that they are safe and operating in the areas that they are meant to. The problem we were trying to solve is we were financing a full fleet of taxis, and we weren't really understanding where they were moving, how they were moving, and by extracting the analytics from that, we'd be able to help us run a better business, but also the operator run a better business. The current structure which we had at SA Taxi was very low frequency data, and it was slow to extract the value in the data, and the data was processed in batch.
You would run a query, then go and have coffee, still the query wouldn't have run, and then you sort of like sit and wait for this query to finish running.
This meant that it was slow to get a result, and we were often worrying about the technology being up and stable before we could even start thinking about the business or the commercial problem.
Most of the time we're struggling with just getting the infrastructure working. So we couldn't actually get to even the analysis part of things.
We were introduced to DotModus a number of years ago, and when they presented to us a solution which would be stable and reliable and able to handle this massive set of data, we jumped at the opportunity.
DotModus is a software engineering, data engineering, and machine learning professional services business. We help organizations build out complex data engineering and machine learning driven pipelines on top of Google Cloud Platform. SA Taxi's existing platform was built upon an on-premise Hadoop cluster. Building anything on top of an Hadoop cluster that you've built yourself and that you run yourself is inherently difficult. It's cumbersome, it's clunky, it's complex, and you end up spending more time focusing on running Hadoop than you do on building solutions. We were able to improve the performance of the application stack, not just during runtime, but during the design and development phase by utilizing a number of Google Cloud's managed services. So by migrating away from an on-prem custom Hadoop solution to using solutions like Dataproc and Dataflow, we were able to start streaming data in at any desired rate that SA Taxi and their partners could provide that data. By focusing on managed solutions, we were able to focus on the data and what the data was trying to tell us, rather than focusing on the infrastructure upon which the solution needed to run.
The biggest advantage to using the new system is now that we can focus on the data and the related data features, rather than worrying that the data is up to date and how are we going to extract the value because the technology wasn't working. The partnership between SA Taxi and Google has really allowed us to build a future-proof platform for data and analytics, where SA Taxi can grow and feel that the platform will grow at the same rate and allow us to integrate seamlessly into other data streams. With Google, it seems to just be so much easier.
We don't have to worry about the infrastructure, but just concentrate on analyzing the data, doing our day-to-day jobs instead of worrying if the server is up or down.
Digicloud are Google's enablement partner for the continent of Africa. The way we assist our partners within our ecosystem is to allow partners like DotModus, who've got this amazing team of engineers, to really free them up as much as possible so that their engineers can do what they're really good at, which is engineer solutions on Google's cloud platform.
For the first time, we're able to focus on our team and focus on the technology and let Greg and his business focus on the ecosystem. And that means that we can really be driven by the technology rather than driven by the admin of existing in a partner ecosystem. And that's really enabled us to build out solutions like what we've done for SA Taxi by taking away that burden from the business.
I think the opportunities for Google Cloud in Africa specifically are massive. And the reason for that is we're one of the few continents in the world where we don't have a lot of legacy IT. People think of Google, when they think of Android and search and everything else, Google has the opportunity to take that and digitally enable a continent. We have 1.4 billion people, all of which are touched by Google in some way, be it search or YouTube or any other product. This is now bringing the ability for those individuals to build their applications in cloud, being Google's cloud, and use Google's innovation to that effect. Of all the hyperscalers, customers look to Google for innovation, and innovation on Google's platform using Google's tools. So when we say, what differentiates Google from other hyperscalers? It's innovation.